Happy to be here with Ben Cushing. He is our most recent Realtor of the Year for the state. 14 local board Realtors of the Year get to that point each year, and then we select one. There is a Realtor of the Year working group that does that work. Welcome, Ben.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
Yeah.
Always love being with you.
Your resume is kind of worth noting. So, um, no false humility here, but I'm gonna go ahead and read it. Some of the things I probably missed some, but you've been the state president. You've been obviously the president of your local board at the Sunapee Region Board of Realtors. You've been the state treasurer. You've been on the Honor Society forever. You were a Distinguished Service Award winner for the state association. I think you graduated from the very first New Hampshire Realtors Leadership Academy. Is that true? Okay. And you graduated from the prestigious NAR Leadership Academy. And now here comes September 17th, and everybody is waiting to hear who the next Realtor of the Year is. And in fact, it is Ben Cushing. So, what was going through your mind when you heard your name called?
I've not been one that's really talked about my resume much. I don't even look at it as a resume. Um, how did I feel? Hey, anybody could win Realtor of the Year that gets nominated. I think, as I said that night, we all won, right? Okay, you got to pick one. Okay, but we all won at the end of the day, and we're all just getting recognized for some stuff that we do, which I've enjoyed doing, and I've been doing it for a long time. I still love it. I don't look at this as a career as much as I really enjoy going to work every day and always have. You know, has there been ups and downs? Yeah, but made some of my best friends in real estate are in my life now. So it's been a great career.
Your remarks were, I wouldn't say emotional, but they were certainly poignant. And one of them you pointed out, you made a special shout out to the Greater Claremont Realtor of the Year, Don Chabot. And I know you have a history with him. So I guess talk a little bit about Don, and then also he was instrumental in your path in this world. So and tell us a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit about your career and
Yeah,
starting out.
yeah. So yeah, I don't get choked up that much when I speak, but I did the other night. One, I get choked up a little bit talking about my family, and then Dawn and Peg Chabot have been super supportive of me over the years as a new realtor, and then owning my own brokerage here in the Lake Sunapee area. We did deals together, and they've just been the salt of the earth people. And I mean, if anybody, I would have loved to have seen Don Chabot get Realtor of the Year. The guy's been doing it forever, and I just wanted to mention him just because a lot of people that were probably there that night, a lot of younger folks, probably don't know Don and Peg. They've been doing this forever over in the greater Claremont area, and they're just such nice people. I've never heard them say a bad word about anybody. And what's funny is, I asked Don after if I could get a photo with him. And so we had a photo taken. You might have even taken the photo, Dave, of us on stage. And I sent that photo to Don and his wife, Peg. And they said, we already beat you to it. We've printed it out and it's in a frame on our desk. And I thought, oh, that's so cool, And so I just wanted to just throw a little thanks to them for kind of guiding the way for people like me that it came after them. They were in the trenches doing this a lot longer before I did, and have just been somebody that I've followed and have always thanked every time I've seen them for doing the right thing and being good people, right? And that's kind of why I threw that out there.
Yeah, it was great. So you did mention your family, Amy, Tucker, Andrew. Tell me about that support.
Right. So I make fun of Tucker and and Andrew and Amy a lot. We they're my family. We love each other. We're never together now that my kids are older and Amy's off doing her thing and I'm doing my thing. A lot of my realtor family have never met Amy. They've heard about this fictitious blonde woman that I live with because they don't see her that often. And it's probably not that Amy doesn't want to go to places with me. I probably forget to tell her about something I'm going to,
I know that's true.
like the event the other night. I don't even know if I told her where I was going because we probably hadn't seen each other in a day or two. But they've been super supportive of me, and as much as I laugh and joke about it, um, I have a wife that, and my kids, that has never said no to me, has allowed me to do everything that I've done, travel, has allowed me to coach high school basketball, now college basketball, and has never questioned me as to why I'm doing it. I'll just be like, hey, I got a game. I'll see you tomorrow. And out I go. And vice versa. You know, Amy and I have this relationship where she does stuff with her girlfriends, and I do stuff with some buddies of mine, and we get along and we meet in the middle. And you know, we've been together 30 years now, and have raised two really fine young men. And Tucker, who is a junior in college, Tuck's 20, and Andrew's 17, is a senior in high school, and Andrew will be going into the Army after he graduates. So they're good kids, and we feel very fortunate. You know, I've tried to raise my boys to do the right thing, kind of like Dawn and Peg Chabot have done in their life, in my opinion. That if we know that there's some folks that need help doing something in town, we go do it. We don't ask to get paid. We're not doing it. I'm not doing it because I want to get their listing. It's just what you do. You know, you and I grew up in similar towns right near each other for the most part, and I think that's what you do as good citizens of our country. And Amy's the one that's done it. I haven't raised the boys. Amy's raised the boys. Thank God they actually didn't follow after me. But so Amy and the boys mean a lot to me, and of course my folks are still with me, and they've been very supportive. And the other folks I'd like to say that are very important to me is my first broker, Paul Linehan. Paul and Ann Linehan are like a second set of parents. I put them in the Dawn and Peg Chabot category, that they've been around and done it for a long time. They're still with us today in their 80s, living here in New London, and they've been a big, huge support to me, and they gave me my start. So without them, I probably wouldn't be doing the real estate thing.
You've kind of answered this in part just in talking about your growth in the business, but one of the segments that we have at the Realtor of the Year event is this little film where each of the Realtors of the Year says, it's important that I'm a Realtor because of something. And obviously that takes on a new dimension in recent years with shakeups at the top of the organization and the settlement over the past couple of years. So how do you answer that question? Why is it important that you're a realtor?
I probably have a completely different look at it than a lot of people, right? And you know a lot of my history, and so as everybody knows, not everybody, but a lot of people know, I've had some health scare with some cancer stuff, and my oldest son Tucker had a brain tumor, and we're fine, thankfully. But why is it important for me to be a realtor? I have my own nucleus of my family, right? But then I have this thing called the Sunapee Region Board of Realtors, who is my extended family. Then I have this thing called the New Hampshire Association of Realtors. That's my continued extended family. And then I have this thing called the National Association. So when I had some health stuff and Tucker did, not only did local friends, family all reach out, my local board did, the state did, and NAR did. And to me, you know, that to me is really important. You know, the stuff about working and selling and making money and making a living, okay, good. That's great. I can do all that. That's fine. But given the career that I've had and the contacts that I've made, it really makes me proud to be a realtor. And yes, you are right. And I've had a little bit more of a front row seat at some of the changes that have happened. Sorry, we have a tractor going by, but some of the changes that we've had happened at NAR and some of the shakeups and changes that have gone on in our industry. At the end of the day, we still work with buyers and sellers, and we do the right thing. And people know that we're there to help. We as realtors are we're a helping group of people, and that's how I've kind of lived my life. It's funny we're talking about this. I just taught an ethics class today, and you know we have this golden rule that we are supposed to live by. You know, do unto others as others would do unto you, and that's how I kind of lived my life and have tried to raise the boys. And that's why it's important for me to be a realtor. When I would do things to others, others would do unto me. And there's my realtor family right there for me in the time of need. And that's what we do. That's why I'm proud to be a realtor. And um, I've had fun doing it. I like to laugh. I enjoy myself. Even when times are tough, I enjoy myself. And it's been a great profession that I can't believe it's been almost 30 years.
So we did obviously we ran down your what I call the resume earlier, and there's a lot more to it than that, but a lot of it revolves around volunteering. What would you say to somebody who's new in this industry about the importance of volunteering?
Whatever you put in, you get 100 times more back in return. There's no question. Sure, all the volunteer stuff I've done, even in this industry, or being on a school board that I've been on, budget committees that I've been on, all that kind of stuff, you get more out of that than you ever put in. But I also look at it though, I'm not looking to get anything back. It's just it happens over time, and I get so much satisfaction out of volunteering, and I guess to a fault, I've done probably too much of it, and it's affected my family. There was a time where I was on so many committees and everything at the state level, the local level, the town level, all those kinds of things that I missed some of the kids' baseball games and things like that. So to a fault, I've done it. So when I talk to the younger folks that are getting into this, you don't have to do everything I did. Learn from some of the mistakes I've made because I've made plenty, but you will get so much out of volunteering, even if it's just volunteering at a homeless shelter, a soup kitchen, handing out backpacks to kids in our schools. The smiles that you see from people, that's all that matters. It's all that matters in life, right? And I do tell folks that are getting into this industry to volunteer. Join a committee at your local level. Just see what it's like. See what the relationships that you're going to build. And Dave knows this better than a lot of people. And yes, Dave is correct. I was on the first Leadership Academy at the New Hampshire Association of Realtors, and there were 9 of us in total. Unfortunately, one, Dick Dumais, is no longer with us, my dear friend Dick. Um, but a time does not go by where those of us, when we get together, it's a hug, how you doing, all this kind of stuff. How's the family? What's going on? And you know what? We're competitors. Some of those people I might compete against. There's actually, my buddy Dan O'Halloran. Dan is a dear friend of mine. Dan and I are competitors. We were competitors when we worked in the same brokerage. We were on that academy, but it's always this camaraderie when we get together. And, I now have sensed that even at the national level, being picked to be on the national scene. So I now have 17 other realtor friends around the country who, as I was just telling Dave, we were in this WhatsApp text thing before I just jumped on this call. We talk weekly. We're talking with each other. So volunteering, getting to know your friends that you volunteer with or fellow realtors, you will get returned in spades throughout your career. There's no question.
Appreciate it, Ben. Of all the things you can be called state president, you can be called the former treasurer, distinguished service award winner. You're most importantly, good friend, good man, and now New Hampshire Association of Realtors Realtor of the Year for 2024. So congratulations and thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate the friendship. And one last thing, I appreciate our staff at NHR. We have the best in the business.
Well, that'll be what we highlight from this interview right there.